What exciting adventures will we choose? We'll make new friends and make some plans. We'll post videos as we visit new lands. We'd love you to join us as we sail around in floating hotels of every brand. We're retired and it's time to cruise. Come and join us, so watch our YouTube.
Hello again from
Darren
and Susan with Retired Time to Cruise.
Oh, today do we have a treat for you guys. We are taking public transportation from the World Cruise Center to LAX.
Here Darren is standing in front of the dancing fountain that's not dancing.
So here we are. This is where the World Cruise Ship Center is, and the dancing fountain is right there.
I had to take a lot of footage of the dancing fountain because I actually forgot to take footage of the beginning of our transit journey. We actually decided to do the public transit because we found out our friends spent a lot of money to take an Uber from LAX airport to the port of San Pedro to our hotel.
For them to go from LAX to our hotel, which is at the World Cruise Ship Center, it was almost $100. So we said, let's save ourselves $100 and take transit. And it was very easy.
Now, in order to use the transit, you have to buy something called a tap card, and you load your money on that. That makes it really safe so that no one's going to try and rob you because you don't actually have cash for the bus. You have this plastic card.
Susan and I both needed a $2 tap card because you can't share a tap card to ride the bus. We did the trip going from the rental car return to San Pedro, and that was relatively stress-free and easy to do.
We didn't have luggage when we did that trip, but we found out that people were able to easily take bikes and backpacks and whatever their needs were. So we felt that the return trip would be easy enough even with our full-size suitcase and carry-on. One thing we found out is that Google Maps isn't always very smart.
No, sometimes it can really let you down.
When we went from our rental car drop-off to try and find our bus stop, Google Maps sent us every which way, and we found that asking a local person was a much better route. We had the same kind of situation when we left San Pedro, is we were relying on Google Maps to give us some idea of what bus stop or how to find the bus stop, and it didn't.
No, it wanted to direct us to the actual terminal that's in San Pedro, which is like a 8-block walk from the dock. So we were walking towards, and I said, well, this is where we got off the bus before. Why don't we just walk across the street and take the bus, and we'll just go with that. So that was the route we took. Now we're much smarter for you folks, and we put the map up that shows where the actual stop is.
Here is the itinerary that Google Maps gives to us, and it says we're supposed to take the stop at Beacon and First Street. Now, it will only show that one option, but there are actually two options. This first one that I'm showing you does show how to get to the Beacon and First Street stop. That's the closest to where our ship was parked. But if we would have been docked at the other dock, there's another stop at Beacon and Farrell in order to catch the bus. We've shown you some close-up Google Maps photos of the actual bus stop. There's an aerial view to show you where the bus stop is, and here's the actual view of the first bus stop at Beacon and First. Now we're showing you the other bus stop, which is at Harbor Gateway J-Line Park and Ride. But you do have to take the stop that's on Beacon and Farrell because the bus turns before it goes past the park and ride lot. When you get on the J Line Silver 950 bus, you spend about 25 minutes on the bus to get to the
Harbor Transitway station, and then you go up 2 levels to catch the train.
Now that station we found very interesting. Who'd have thunk that a transit station would be
in the middle of a freeway? And the bus just wheels into the middle of the freeway and dumps you off into the transit station. You go up to the top and there's the train running right down the middle of the freeway. It was amazing.
Even the bus didn't stay on the same lanes as the rest of the traffic on the freeway. It had a dedicated, elevated route.
I would guess that if there was a problem with the freeway, the transit system isn't affected at all. Everything is away from the actual vehicle traffic. Here we are, we've gotten off of the bus and we've taken the escalator up the 2 levels to get to the main train station.
We arrived from the J Line 950 bus and now we are taking the Metro
Green Line to LAX.
It's very noisy in this bus terminal. We did find that that was something we experienced last time.
And with that, before we know it, the escalators are there. We come up the escalators and
Here's
there's
our
our
train. Well, that was a very efficient 15-minute train ride. We have arrived on the Metro line.
We're here at the LAX stop and we just have to take the shuttle to the airport.
I'm not sure how we get down, but we'll figure it out. Now we've grabbed the elevator to go down to street level from the C Line Metro.
Street.
And here we are at street level.
So here we are at street level. All we have to do now is walk our way through and exit the transit station to go to the shuttle at street level.
That was the escalator coming down. We could have gone on the escalator rather than the elevator, but we didn't know that. This is a bit of a view of the street level of the transit station at Aviation.
We have to leave the terminal. So of course, some places you tap a card to get in and you have to tap yourself out. So I do tap my card to get out. And then one nice lady said to me, she goes, "You don't have to do anything, just walk out." So that made it so much easier. There I am tapping and tapping and tapping again.
And then it just opens. But you can see how much luggage we were carrying, and it was no problem at all handling that amount of luggage to go to the transit, the public transit. Now, we're headed to the blue sign that's waiting for the actual airport shuttle.
It didn't take very long. There was a lot of rental car shuttles that went by.
This is a free shuttle, the Metro Connector bus shuttle to the LAX airport. We were not sure what the schedule would be, so we found a shady spot while we waited for the shuttle. I've seen 2 shuttle buses for rentals go by. This is a 3rd and there's a 4th. So this is a very busy, popular corner for the shuttles, and hopefully soon we will have our airport shuttle. The airport shuttle is free, but the transit itself cost us $1.75 plus the tap card. This might be our bus right now. Nope. So when we dropped off our rental car, it would have been a short walk here to catch the transit if we had looked the right direction right from the beginning. It takes a little bit longer than a direct Uber or taxi ride, but for $2 for the tap card and then fill it for $1.75 each. So 2 tap cards, $1.75 times 2. We've gone to San Pedro and back on public transit. And everybody is really friendly and helpful. They have transit ambassadors at a lot of the stops, and if they don't have transit ambassadors, the locals have been very friendly and helpful. This is a free shuttle. They take you right to where you need to be. We didn't even know what direction the shuttle was coming from, but there were friendly people to chat with while we were waiting.
Here's our bus, Susan.
Here's the Metro connector, but unfortunately it is full, so it looks like we're going to have to wait for another one. The next one arrived just a couple minutes later.
You would have actually seen the bus sitting kitty corner across the street coming towards us. It was that close to the other shuttle. We walked on the shuttle with the other 6 people that couldn't get on the first one. The lady driving the bus, we told her what airline we were flying. She dropped us off right where we needed to be. We walked into the airport. We were done.
It was a very pleasant way to get from the cruise port to the airport, and we had a smooth flight to get home, and now we're sharing with you our experience. Would we do it again?
Absolutely.
I think that in the future, anytime we go to the port of San Pedro from LAX, we will take public transit. It is that easy.
As it turned out, the suitcases were a breeze to haul on the bus. There was lots of room. They fit in between the seat and the floor, so we basically took 1 seat area for our suitcases, and we each had a seat ourselves. If you had known, or we had known, the actual schedule of the bus, we would have been able to enjoy ourselves a lot more by the dancing fountain, and it's a beautiful walkway there. Plus you can go to the USS Iowa if you're so inclined to tour it on the back from your cruise too.
There is a lot that you can see in the area at the port of San Pedro.
The other thing that amazed me with this trip, both ways going to and fro, is that there was so many security and ambassadors, and they were bending over backwards to help us and assist us in all ways possible to make our trip enjoyable.
We even found the bus drivers very helpful and willing to let us know where we actually needed to go. When we told the bus driver where we were trying to get to, they told us, your stop will be in however many stops, and I will stop and let you know that this is your stop when we get there.
So our whopping grand total to go from LAX to San Pedro back to LAX was a whopping $5.50 each, as opposed to almost $100 each way for a cab or an Uber. For more cruise tips from Darren and Susan and Retired Time to Cruise,
remember to like,
comment,
subscribe,
and most of all, share with your friends.
And hit that notification bell. We look forward to seeing you in the next videos.
Bye for now.
Bye.
It's time to cruise. Where will we go next? What will we see? What exciting adventures will we choose?